Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates and the OCA Business Advisory Council, welcome to the 2022 National Asian Pacific American Corporate Achievement Awards. I'm Toon Nguyen, the Executive Director of OCA, and I'll be your MC for this afternoon. It's truly my honor to be here with all of you. We're here tonight to recognize Asian Pacific American corporate leaders and the contributions they have made to their companies and their community. For far too long, it has been too difficult for members of our community to find role models that look like them. The individuals honored here tonight are those role models, ones who shatter bamboo and glass ceilings and inspire the next generation of leaders in the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. At this time, please join me in extending a warm welcome to OCA's National President, Linda Ng.
Greetings. My name is Linda Ng, OCA National President. On behalf of OCA, Asian Pacific Americans Advocates, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 31st Annual OCA National Corporate Achievement Awards. At this special event, we get to meet our Corporate Partner of the Year and Executive Excellence Award recipients. We also get to meet some of the incredible individuals who strive for excellence, achievement, and leadership in the corporate sector. CAA is an opportunity for tonight's honorees to be nationally recognized by the community, to embrace new challenges as they continue to be role models, and to inspire others as well. I'd like to give a shout out to the OCA Executive Council who helped select the honorees, and the OCA staff who put this event together. More importantly, I want to applaud and thank the OCA Business Advisory Council for the continued support in recognizing emerging corporate leaders. At this time, please join me in welcoming two of our finest corporate partners to the screen. First, Caroline Leyugan, Responsible Gaming Program Director, Caesars Entertainment, and OCA's Business Advisory Council Co-Chair, to present the Corporate Partner of the Year Award. Following her is Joanne Tapley Murphy, National Director, Public Affairs, Walmart, and the other half of our dynamic duo, the OCA Business Advisory Council Co-Chairs, to present the Executive Excellence Award.
The Corporate Partner of the Year Award is presented to a company that has been outstanding in its work with OCA and in its support of the organization's goals and mission. We are pleased to present this year's Outstanding Corporate Partner of the Year Award to Wells Fargo. Congratulations. Wells Fargo has a legacy of allyship with the Asian American community since the 1800s, when they stood by the Chinese American community against the Chinese Exclusion Acts. They are long-standing members of OCA Business Advisory Council and have continued to support the greater AAPI community through services and grants. Congratulations, Wells Fargo.
Thank you and good evening. My name is Maggie Shortis, Senior Vice President with Wells Fargo's Diverse Segments Representation and Inclusion Team. It is my honor today to accept this award on behalf of Wells Fargo. My family immigrated to San Francisco in the early 80s, and I've lived in San Francisco since. In the late 80s, my family moved from the suburbs to Chinatown, and this became some of the most pivotal time in my life because there we were reunited with others like us, Chinese immigrant families who were learning English as a second language and who were struggling to navigate the systems of the US. But it was also that time that I started taking interest in Chinese American history and Asian American studies. And that eventually led me to joining OCA San Francisco. And that was my first exposure to seeing civic in action. I remember walking door to door with voter registration and asking people to sign petitions, passing out flyers, and then also participating and volunteering at many fundraisers. I particularly remember working with candidates to complete their application for office. So thank you, OCA, for being part of my journey. And today, this recognition from the OCA for the 2022 Outstanding Corporate Partner of the Year is the result of long-standing partnership between Wells Fargo and OCA. I am proud of Wells Fargo's support and commitment to OCA and to the Asian American Pacific Islander community. Wells Fargo has been a member of OCA's Business Advisory Council for over a decade, and we are one of OCA's most valued and dedicated supporters. A great example of this is how Wells Fargo stepped up in 2021 to increase our support of OCA as our nation witnessed a wave of anti-AAPI hate. Wells Fargo has long been standing with the AAPI community since the days we advocated for Chinese immigrant rights during 1882's Chinese Exclusion Acts. As a matter of fact, Wells Fargo History Museum holds the first Chinese business directory here in San Francisco. And most recently, Wells Fargo has been a thoughtful supporter in not only promoting AAPI diversity in corporate finance sector, but increased community involvement by our AAPI employees. Our relationship has resulted in waves of impact, from bystander intervention training to small business support in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. And today, I want to take a moment to congratulate Wells Fargo's Michelle Rhee, Deputy General Counsel, for being recognized this evening as an OCA 2022 Corporate Achievement Awardee. Michelle is just one example of incredible AAPIs who have taken leadership roles within Wells Fargo. So thank you again. On behalf of Wells Fargo, we are grateful for our continued partnership in increasing positive change in the AAPI community. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Maggie. We're so honored that you've joined us for this special event. Congratulations to Wells Fargo for being named OCA's Corporate Partner of the Year. We look forward to continuing our legacies together for years to come. Now, to our next award. Each year, OCA selects one individual for the OCA Executive Excellence Award. This award is for those who not only achieve the highest form of excellence in the corporate sector, but also gives back to the community.
What do you believe were the keys to your success? Because I was reading at one point that you said it wasn't easy, that when you tried to get into the sales department, you were rejected 5 times. Talk to us about keys to success. And
education is the great equalizer. And so for them, and therefore for me, the importance of education and living a life that is filled with continuous learning is absolutely foundational. And it is not necessarily about the degrees that you have or the school that you go to, but it is about having a mindset that you can always learn from every situation and every person. Something that I work with our company's leadership team to do so. And we developed our own very specific Women of Color program and initiative and support structure, and have run hundreds of women and their supervisors through it, addressing topics like emotional tax, how do you become a better mentor and supporter for women of color, and there were very many commonalities across those communities. So it absolutely can be and needs to be done.
Hello everyone, my name is Ann Chow and I am CEO of AT&T Business and a proud Asian American. Thanks so much for tuning in with us today for what I know will be a compelling and thought-provoking conversation. So May is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And as we continue to celebrate this Heritage Month, I'm excited to lead and participate in a discussion about how we can all take an active role in supporting the AAPI community. As all of us know, we're at a pivotal point in our society and as a country. And the social justice movement, as we have experienced a racial awakening, if you will, a racial reckoning over the past year and a half, really compels us to think about how we can move forward together so that we can continue to make progress in all facets of our society. We sit at the precipice of a significant amount of change that we can all be part of. We here at AT&T, we are all about creating connection. And what we've learned together as a society, as a community, as a company, and as a team over this past year and a half is that there is nothing more powerful than the human connection. And that each of us need this connection to thrive, not only survive, but to thrive together and make advancements. Why is this year different? Well, I think there is always a reason for everything that occurs. And probably fortuitous that this discussion is happening now. Just yesterday, the president signed into law the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, which overwhelmingly passed by majority last month by the Senate and earlier this month by the House. And so we sit at a point in time where real change is happening, and real change can happen if each of us chooses to engage.
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to receive this year's OCA Executive Excellence Award. Thank you to OCA for the recognition. Special thanks to my parents for instilling in me a set of values that embody character and integrity, a duty to serve others, and an obligation to continually reach for the stars, defining what's possible while having a positive impact on the world. I'm proud to be a second-generation Asian American who's been a CEO, a board director, advisor, community volunteer, mentor, sponsor, advocate, and author. I've always viewed that an integral part of my role is to discover, develop, and advance the next generation of diverse leaders, including my 2 Gen Z daughters who are my inspiration. Never before has there been a time when representation matters more across all communities, but especially for the AAPI community. Our population is rapidly growing, and by the year 2060, it's expected to surpass 46 million people. And did you know that by 2060, Asians are projected to become the largest immigrant group in the United States? We have been and will continue to be an integral part of the fabric of America. And it's imperative that each and every one of us do our part, not only to honor our ancestors and heritage, or to make a difference today in our companies and organizations, but to also lay the groundwork for a better tomorrow by supporting future leaders, always keeping an eye on what's best for society, including caring for our one and only planet. We've learned that, especially over these past several years, that there's nothing more powerful or vital than the human connection. We are stronger together than we are apart. And so we must continue to develop meaningful relationships for the greatest impact of growth whether it be economic, technological, social, environmental, as well as individual. Thank you again for this tremendous honor. I look forward to continuing to create the future together.
Congratulations, Anne. Thank you for all that you've done and continue to do for the AAPI community. And now it's time to present to you this year's OCA National Asian Pacific American Corporate Achievement Award honorees. Here to introduce tonight's first honoree, please welcome Emilio Gonzalez, Executive Director of Public Policy and Strategic Partnerships at Verizon.
Hello, I am delighted to see Albert Shen of Verizon receiving the OCA Corporate Achievement Award for 2022. This is a fantastic recognition from OCA for a great colleague, a friend, and someone who has a long-standing commitment to the AAPI community. Albert's work with OCA and others has always been one of collaboration, support, and education. His energy and passion for the community is second to none. And I am very proud of Albert, and I congratulate him on this fantastic award. And I thank OCA for recognizing a fantastic employee and colleague at Verizon. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Albert Shen, and on behalf of Verizon, I want to thank the OCA for this great honor to receive the APA Corporate Achievement Award. This honor is more than one individual in a corporation. To me, this is about the tireless civil rights advocacy that the OCA has been doing for decades. The necessity of greater equality for our community is at an unprecedented period of American history that is challenging our belonging to the American dream. Our older generations and newer generations are the reason for what we do daily. I am blessed to have been raised by loving parents who immigrated from China to the United States through Taiwan to live the American dream. I was born in the US and was fortunate enough to get a higher education, start and run a successful small business, then diving into the crazy world of politics by running for local office, then failing miserably in that run. But it led to a great opportunity to serve President Obama in his administration at the US Department of Commerce. I now work in an incredible company that has supported me in my professional journey, but also encourages all employees to stay engaged with our local communities. Without community engagement, companies like Verizon cannot learn from organizations such as OCA on what it means to be community advocates. I want to thank OCA, Verizon, and all the leaders in the company, especially my colleagues, Michelle Quat and Emilio Gonzalez, that have given me the pathway to work with my community. I want to thank my parents and especially my wife and children for their love and support as a family, which is what inspires me to be a tireless advocate. So thank you again for this great honor, and I look forward to continuing working with you in the future. Thank you.
Here to introduce our next honoree is Holly Martinez, Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion at T-Mobile.
I want to give a big round of congratulations to Maria. Maria, you have just been such a dedicated talent to T-Mobile and for our diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. You have not only just led within our walls, but also in our communities. I want to thank you so much and also tell you just how deserving you are of this award tonight. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. I am Maria Singh, a proud employee of T-Mobile, and I would like to thank OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates for this incredible honor to receive this prestigious 2022 OCA Corporate Achievement Award. Humbled and with great gratitude, I also want to thank my employer, T-Mobile, for providing me the mentors, coaches, and sponsors who walked alongside me to support me in all my endeavors thus far. This has been achieved through T-Mobile's strong DE&I foundation, which has empowered me to lead with confidence, purpose, and direction. Our simple mantra at T-Mobile has been #BeYou. A one team together culture means to bring our full authentic selves to work where we can win together and belong, which reminds me of how much our partnership with OCA is so important, and it is in line with this year's theme, Empowering Our Voices. I remembered as a student coming over as an immigrant, how hard it was to integrate into a society who did not have any understanding of my personal experiences and my background. And so I was always looking for a way to connect. And I'm so grateful and thankful that OCA is here to represent us and to advocate for everything that is part of the AAPI identity. I am proud so far that I have come to a place where my cultural perspective is brought to every conversation and discussion. And most importantly, I am empowered to stand tall and to speak up and to speak out, advocating for our AAPI community. I compare our AAPI community to a beautiful tapestry where different fabrics representing each culture is deliberately and delicately weaved together. So I champion you, the next generation, to focus on what unites us rather than what divides us, in order to create the culture of respect required to unlock the creativity and innovation born from our differences, so that together our voices can resonate louder, go further, and be heard by all. Before I end, I want to make sure that I dedicate this honor to several groups of people. Firstly, my family, who have stood with me all these years, supporting me, encouraging me to give back to my community. And also to Holly Martinez, my VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And last but not least, my dear friend, mentor and coach and sponsor, Flower Cantu Kelly, Senior Manager of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Congratulations to all the honorees. And once again, thank you, OCA, for this prestigious honor.
Congratulations, Maria. Every year, OCA touches hundreds of thousands of APIs through its programming, advocacy work, and direct engagement. Your support is necessary in ensuring that we can continue our work towards a more prosperous future. Please watch the following video to learn more about the work that OCA does.
OCA, Asian Pacific American Advocates, is a national civil rights organization dedicated to advancing the social, political, and economic well-being of over 22 million Asian Americans and 1.2 million Pacific Islanders in the United States.
For over 45 years, OCA has been a leader in our community. With over 50 chapters and affiliates throughout the country, OCA reaches hundreds of thousands of Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders through our programs and advocacy.
Our agenda includes fair immigration, inclusive and accessible education, racial equity and inclusion, civic engagement and workforce development, and technology access.
As the fastest growing racial group in the U.S., our voice is critical in our schools, our workplace, and our voting process.
OCA chapters create space and community for AAPIs in the region and have been central in advocating on behalf of AAPIs to local and state governments.
Through our national advocacy and leadership programs, we're able to empower thousands of high school students, college students, and working professionals.
OCA signature programs like Mentoring Asian American Professionals, the AAPI's Women's Initiative, or APA Youth Advocate offers tools, resources, and networks for AAPIs of all ages to learn about AAPI identity and advocacy while building their leadership skills.
By breaking glass and bamboo ceilings, we are showing that our stories matter, that we are more than the model minority.
Located in the heart of Washington, D.C., OCA includes 10 full-time staff members who work to ensure that our voices are heard at the national and the local levels.
With your continued support, we've been able to successfully pivot our programming during these uncertain times respond to calls for essential goods and services, and mobilize against anti-Asian hate.
It's crucial that we continue to fight for policies that advance our civil rights. Asian American and Pacific Islander narratives and experiences are part of the tapestry that make this country great.
Thank you for joining us in our fight for equity and equality. Together, we can embrace the hopes and aspirations of all Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders.
And as we begin to celebrate our 50th anniversary next year, I hope that each and every one of you will join us either in Washington, D.C. or across the country at our celebrations nationwide. Now next to present their honoree is Joanna Zong, Senior Vice President of Acquisition Marketing and Asian Segment Leader at Wells Fargo.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to join you today to celebrate the important achievements of today's honorees at the annual OCA Corporate Achievement Awards. I would first like to take a moment and recognize Tu Nguyen, Executive Director, Linda Ng, National President, and the OCA leadership team for your hard work and commitment to leading OCA with such a tremendous vision and purpose. OCA has been instrumental in advancing the social, political, and economic well-being of Asian Pacific Americans. We are proud of the relationship we have with OCA and support the organization's goal to advocate for our AAPI communities. At Wells Fargo, we are committed to helping our Asian customers, communities, and nonprofit organizations to achieve financial success and create long-term economic growth. Essential to this is the passion and commitment our employees bring to the community, serving as volunteers on boards at community organizations across the nation. And perhaps no one embodies this strength and commitment to community as does Michelle Rhee. Michelle is Deputy General Counsel for Wealth and Investment Management at Wells Fargo and has been an exemplary leader in her 4 years with the company. One of the attributes that makes her a successful leader is her strong ability to build, engage, and influence teams across diversity and culture. Michelle prides herself in mentoring and developing many leaders for the organizations both internally and externally. Michelle is also the co-chair of Legal Department's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council. In that role, she has worked with others to drive the strategy addressing the areas of diverse representation, talent mobility, and inclusion initiatives. Michelle is also a member of Wells Fargo's AAPI Executive Forum, where they have provided suggestions to the CEO and Chief DRSI Officer on concerns specific to the AAPI community. Additionally, Michelle has been actively involved in external AAPI organizations. She has been a member of the Asian American Lawyer Association of Massachusetts for almost 25 years. Michelle has also been mentoring junior employees, specifically women of color, helping them grow into more senior roles over the years. With her energy and commitment to help others succeed, Michelle is deserving of the OCA National Corporate Achievement Award. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me and our Wells Fargo colleagues in congratulating Michelle Rhee on her OCA Corporate Achievement Award.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Rhee, and I'm a Deputy General Counsel at Wells Fargo. It's a privilege to accept this award from the OCA. One could say that I received this recognition for my official titles, which is as a Deputy General Counsel or as the co-chair of our legal department's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council. But I'd like to think that the award recognizes more quiet contributions, which can often go overlooked. The work which I have found provides me with the greatest fulfillment does not often come with accolades. It's not about fundraising events or one-time gatherings to discuss the virtues of diversity and inclusion. Rather, I found the most rewarding work is to be the constant and daily investment in people through coaching, mentoring, sponsorship, and guidance. You don't do this work for the accolades or for the recognition. I do it for the sheer enjoyment that any gardener finds. It's truly fulfilling to watch the seeds that one has planted bloom. And so I accept this award on behalf of all the quiet gardeners like myself who do this work for the sheer joy of it. If I can influence those who come after me, I encourage you to be yourself. Don't aspire for perfection, but for constant improvement. Don't hide from your mistakes, but wear them like badges to show your resilience and your willingness to learn and grow. And don't worry about everyone accepting and loving you. The only person who you should need to do that is you. I'm grateful to Wells Fargo for allowing me to bring the most important parts of myself to work each day as I try to diversify and improve my beloved profession in the law.
Next, to introduce their honoree is Emily Allen, Interim President and Senior Vice President of Programs at the AARP Foundation.
I am delighted to introduce AARP Foundation's very own Paolo Narciso as he accepts the OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates Corporate Achievement Award. Paolo is the Vice President of Program Development and Optimization, an innovative role that helps us meet both the current and future needs of vulnerable older adults. Paolo came to AARP Foundation in 2017 when we were very focused on using innovation to create new solutions to address the needs of vulnerable older adults. To do this, we knew we needed to attract talent that had strong backgrounds in developing new businesses and social enterprises. I remember my first call with Paolo and talking about his amazing background and asking, okay, I know why we would want you to come to AARP Foundation, but why do you want to work here? I remember his answer to this day. He said, I could go off and start another business, but I want to come to an organization that wants to do good and wants to solve big problems. That sealed the deal. Since that time, Paolo definitely brings energy to his works, sometimes annoyingly so, but one that inspires those around him to think like a social entrepreneur, question the status quo, get creative, and relentlessly drive toward positive social impact. Paolo is also an advocate for a more diverse pipeline of partners, including an organization focused on the needs of AAPI older adults and their families, who collaborate with the Foundation to identify the challenges diverse communities face and come up with the right solutions. He uses his extensive experience in UX design to help us and our partners create the best possible customer journey and collect the necessary data to show impact in an ethical and culturally relevant way. Congratulations, Paolo. This is a well-deserved award as you continue to represent the values of AARP Foundation and empower the next generation of leaders to come.
Thank you, Emily, for the kind introduction and for being as supportive of a boss than anyone can hope to have. It is so great to work for a real champion of service to vulnerable older Americans, and I'm inspired by your leadership every single day. I also want to thank Daphne Kwok for nominating me for this award. You all know that Daphne is a legend and a great leader in the community, and at AARP leading inclusivity and diversity. I'm really lucky to call her a friend, and along with Emily, two of my favorite people in the whole world. Thank you to OCA advocates for this recognition. It is an honor to be recognized by an organization with a storied reputation for advocacy and advancing the visibility of AAPI issues. As a first-generation immigrant to the United States, I've been the beneficiary of significant amounts of support and kindness from Americans of all color and races. Throughout my academic and professional careers, I've also been blessed with teachers, bosses, and mentors who have gone above and beyond to give me all the opportunities to succeed. I had to put in my hard work, but I owe much of my success to them and to the freedoms in the United States that allow me to try, succeed, fail, and try again. In my office, I have a small postcard on my desk. In that postcard are the words from Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "The final measurement of your life is not based on its length, but on the service and sacrifice to your fellow men." Right next to that postcard is a quote from the founder of AARP and an educator, Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus, that says, "To serve and not to be served." Both Dr. King and Dr. Andrus believe that through service and sacrifice, one person can make a significant difference in the lives of others. So I can really think of no greater honor in my exercise of the privilege that I have than to serve the country that gave so much to me, and to be able to serve the mission of AARP and the AARP Foundation to empower people to choose how they live as they age, and to do this work every day alongside such a talented and passionate team. I'm humbled to receive this recognition. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of the honorees. What an inspirational group of role models for our next generation of leaders to learn from. But I know all of us are waiting for one more award to be announced, and this one has been kept a surprise until tonight. We are extremely pleased to present the 2022 Community Service Award to one of tonight's Corporate Achievement Award recipients. Community involvement is a vital part of a company's outreach efforts into the local communities they serve. This is a way for a company to demonstrate good corporate citizenship by giving back to the community and establishing partnerships that help the company and community thrive together. The Community Service Award is presented to an individual who exemplifies the commitment of a corporate employee to volunteerism and community service.
This year's Corporate Achievement Award candidates were all exemplary role models in their community. Each has given up their time on behalf of their company and on their own personal time as well. It was a very tough decision, and the judging was very close. This year's recipient is truly an inspiration. Through the individual's own personal triumphs, this person has continuously given back to the community with a selfless attitude and unwavering commitment. Without further ado, it's our pleasure to present to you this year's recipient of the Community Service Award. A little drum roll, please. I'd like to congratulate Paolo Narciso for receiving this year's Community Service Award. Paolo, thank you for all that you do on behalf of AARP, but also on your own time as well. Thank you for your partnership with OCA and with all of the other API community organizations and communities nationwide. Congratulations again.
Congratulations to Paolo, Michelle, Maria, and Albert. We are proud to be able to recognize you for your contributions to each of your companies, but also your communities. On behalf of OCA, I also want to thank Ann Chow for her leadership and Wells Fargo for their partnership.
31 years ago, the Corporate Achievement Awards pioneered a platform to recognize rising leaders in the corporate sector. The recognition has encouraged and fueled the continued development of these professionals, but also inspired corporate America to hire and promote diverse leaders that include Asian Americans, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander champions.
As tonight's celebration draws to a close, we challenge everyone to continue taking your leadership in the company to the next levels by not only leveling up your own voice, but also uplifting the voices of other AANHPIs and colleagues whose voices are not heard or don't have a platform. We ask you to commit to supporting and advocating for OCA and other grassroots organizations to continue to learn about the important issues impacting AANHPIs. Be more than an ally, be an advocate.
While we honor 31 years of this Corporate Achievement Award ceremony, we are thrilled to head into 2023, which celebrates our legacy of 50 years. We look forward to having each and every one of you join us as we celebrate advocacy, solidarity, unity within the API community and with our other community partners. On that note, I'd like to congratulate once again to all the honorees and give thanks to all our partners on our Business Advisory Council, AARP, AT&T, Coca-Cola, Comcast NBC Universal, Caesars Entertainment, Charter Communications, CTIA, Crossings TV, General Motors, IW Group, McDonald's, MGM Resorts, Nielsen, Sodexo, State Farm, T-Mobile, UPS, Verizon, Walmart, Wells Fargo. Thank you again for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing all of you next year.